Good morning and welcome to the EHF offices here in Vienna. Now, it only seems like yesterday that we saw Norway gloriously lifting the Women's EHF EURO 2020 title back in December. Now, it's time already to get on the road to Women's EHF EURO 2022, and we have the qualifying draw, the first phase qualifying draw for that competition this morning. So we have 11 nations. We have 3 pools or 3 groups to draw them into, and let's get underway and take a look at those 11 nations that will be making up today's draw. As you can see in pot 1, 3 teams: Faroe Islands, Greece and Portugal. In pot 2 we've got Israel, Italy and Kosovo. In pot 3 there are Bosnia and Herzegovina, Finland and Luxembourg. And in pot 4 the 2 nations Cyprus and Latvia. Now, to make the draw for us and to get those balls out of those famous EHF glass bowls, we've got EHF President Miki Videra and Peter Sischel-Schmidt. It's over to you guys.
Hello everybody, dear handball friends. Very welcome here in Vienna. Before we start, only some very small remarks concerning the technical procedure. We will start from the bottom to the top, that means from pot 4 to pot 1, and from the left to right. We start with pot 4, continue with pot 3, 2 and 1, and the last step of the draw will be the draw of the organizing right, and this will be here in this pot. Okay, we can start, Michael. The first team drawn, Cyprus, row 4, group A. Latvia goes to group B in row 4. The first team in row 3, Luxembourg, in group A. Bosnia and Herzegovina, group B, row 3. And the last team in row 3, group C, Finland. So we continue with pot 2. Pot 2, group A, Kosovo. And Italy goes to row 2, group B. Israel, row 2, group C. And pot 1. Portugal completes group A. Greece, top of the group B. And Faroe Island completes group C. So, the last step will be the draw of the organizing right. The team, oh, that's good. The first organizing right goes to row 1. Das ist gut. Keine Probleme. The second organizing right goes to row 2. The third right goes to row 3. And as expected, row 4 has an organizing right in 4th row. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michael. Let's take a look then at what that means for the Women's EHF Euro 2022 Qualifiers Phase 1. The groups, as you can see on the graphic, are as follows. Group A, we've got Portugal, who came so close to qualifying for the 2016 final tournament. They are in Group A, alongside Kosovo, who are still looking for their first ever win in qualification. There's also Luxembourg. They're making only their 3rd appearance in the qualification at the women's stage. And finally, in Group A, we have Cyprus, who are actually playing in the women's qualifiers for the first ever time. So good luck to Cyprus. In Group B, we have Greece, we have Italy, we have Bosnia and Herzegovina, who are actually making their first appearance in qualifying in almost 10 years. And finally, Latvia. And then in Group C, we've got the Faroe Islands, the 2016 winners of the EHF Challenge Trophy, of course. We've also got Israel and Finland. And of course, the top 3 nations who top those groups will then enter the next stage, the Qualifiers Phase 2, to see who qualifies for the main tournament in the finals tournament in Slovenia, Montenegro and North Macedonia. Obviously, that draw will take place next week. But these matches for these groups will take place between the 31st of May and the 6th of June. So that completes the draw. It's my thanks to Michael and Peter. Just a reminder, of course, that we've got 2 more draws coming up for you next week. We've got the EHF Women's World Championship European qualifying draw as well on Monday, followed by the Phase 2 of the Women's European Championship Qualifiers Phase 2 on Wednesday. So that's all we have time for today. Thanks for staying with us. You can find all of the information on eurohandball.com and on our social media platforms. But from Vienna, it's goodbye.